You like new music? I got new music. You like old music? I got some old music. You want good music? Well, I think it's pretty good, so let's find out. Here we go. And welcome. It's the early morning Sunday show. Yes, that time again. It's Sunday. And someone is... Oh, Cat's here. Yay. Yay for Cat. Take a bow, Cat. Okay. Swear to God, this thing's not trained. Man. Okay. Yes. The opening, that was from my trip out to Denver to see Aiden, my grandson. I didn't show my grandson this time. Okay, I'm just trying not to show everybody. I was in my travels this week. Some bartenders did get to see pictures of my grandson. Of course, my employees got to see pictures of my grandson. So yeah, okay, we're doing the whole grandpa thing. But weather was actually beautiful when we were out in Denver. Sucked this last week, but when we were there, it was nice. And that was a park. It's called the Arsenal State Park. It's right inside Denver, just huge. It's a buffalo reserve, along with prairie dogs, bald eagles, stuff like that. So really fun time in there. It was beautiful. The scenery, as you can see, is a beautiful day. Lovely blue sky. So yeah, son Eric took us out there to see that. And we had a good time. So, look at that cat's kind of getting settled in here nice and fast. That's kind of nice. And last night I went and I saw Avatar. And so for Don, this old goat, great channel. Love Don, this old goat. He makes like 3D movies once in a while. I now have my official 3D glasses, Don. So you can go ahead and do all your videos in 3D. I'm set up for you, okay? So we have that. And the co-host is absolutely bored already because, what are you doing, man? Oh, no, come on. Oh, damn it, you. Son of a bitch. Oh, back. My co-host decided to barf. And he just had some milk and whatever. And yeah, he barfed in my room. Great. Just great. But we're all cleaned up, so he left. He pukes and leaves. He doesn't even stick around to help. Just, I puked, I'm gone. Take care of it, will ya? Cat. Okay. All right, we should get going. Today's program is sponsored by Dem Two Brothers and a Grill. Best barbecue in Charleston, West Virginia, if you happen to be there. Not the best area of town, but it's good barbecue. I have a newer band, and this band is out of Uruguay. That's just fun to say, Uruguay. Feel free to say it all day long, Uruguay. Down in South America, way down in South America. The name of the band is called Los Cobras. And they formed in 2017. And if you can guess by the album artwork, it's fairly trippy. It is a psych rock band with, get this, Latin roots. I know, big surprise, okay? And they put out 2 albums. We have here, this one here, Tempora, was the first album. This came out in 2017. And then we have Selva that came out in 2020. And I got both of these off Fuzz Club. Now the band, it's a duo. And the duo is Leandro Ruballato and Sophia. Wow. Isn't that neat, huh? Sophia Aguirre. I'm sure I mispronounced that, and Sophia, feel free to write and correct me if you happen to be watching this. Somehow I feel pretty safe on that. The music is a fusion of proto-punk with kind of a murky shoegaze happening, and has a dash of tropicalia, maybe even you could say a little Afro-funk is thrown in there, but only a teeny tiny dose of that. It is very much swirling, ethereal noise. The vocals, they're dark, they're distorted, and I would kind of call it gloomy neo-psych. Well, actually, the guitars have that gloomy neo-psych sound to them. It is, at times, it can be entrancing with the noise going on in the background of the music. It's that shoegaze type feel. So I saw this in Fuzz Club. I go, oh, out of Uruguay. First off, I can't think if I have anything else from Uruguay, so that just was kind of the green flag there. Well, I should probably buy that then. In case Vinyl Tag comes up with something, show an album from Uruguay. I wanted to be set for next year. I'm trying to get something from every country just so I'm prepared properly for it. But both really good albums. I mean, are they fantastic albums? I won't say that. But are they really good, a great listen, enjoyable? Yes. So Los Cobras, Temporal 2017, Selva 2020, both can be found out there. Not too expensive, but really nice listen. So happy to pick those up. This next album came out in 2020, and it's called Birthday Club. Birthday Club's out of Houston, and this is their first album. So I wound up getting this from kind of a roundabout way. I was watching Rachel's live stream. When I watch, and Rachel knows this, I get on, I'll watch for a little while. Usually I'm working, I'm on, doing computer work, for work. And, and I'm listening, you try to follow the comments. It's pretty hard. I'll try to keep up, but generally I don't. But Rachel began to talk about this. She goes, Steve Carlson, if you're watching, I think you would like this album. Someone had sent her one of these albums, and it was Vivian. Vivian's her name, and she'd sent her an album. And she goes, she had some others she would send out. She wanted just to kind of promote this. And she goes, Steve Carlson, if you're watching, I think you would like it. Well, I just happened to be watching. What are the chances of that one? What are the chances? So I said, this sounds interesting, because it was kind of an indie pop type of an album. So I said yes. Vivian got a hold of me, and they sent this to me. Vivian sent this to me, and it is excellent. And Rachel, you're right. I did really, really like it. Rachel knows I'm a big fan of the Vinyl Douche. And this would be the kind of thing that he would do. Play. Birthday Club, Obscure Motion is the name of the album. The person that is the driving force behind Birthday Club is a man named Stephen Wells. And he'd had out an EP before, but this is his first album that he had. You could say, I guess there is kind of a taste of 90s British British rock in there, or, you know, that was really popular, you know, from that British invasion that we had going on in the 90s. There is, you know, one song, really, the opening track is just killer. Obscure Emotion. It has these very airy vocals, and it's just these beautiful, dreamy tones that are happening. It's Not Enough was another incredibly beautiful song. It's kind of, I would say, psych pop. There is just this great guitar, and it gives it a real trippy type feel. There are lots of swirling soundscapes within this album. I really, really like this one. It had just that beautiful indie alternative, but kind of a pop feel to it that I enjoy finding. And when people show these on the different VC channels, it's the kind of stuff I tend to gravitate to, along with some of the new psych that's happening. So you can find this on Bandcamp, Birthday Club, Obscure Emotion. It is available on Bandcamp. It's well worth, you know, pulling up, taking a listen to some of these samples. I loved it. It definitely was great. So Rachel, Vivian, thank you so much for sending this my way. Great album, Birthday Club. Not the Nick Cave Birthday Club. Whoa, no, it is not Nick Cave Birthday Club. A lot of fans of that out there. That's a tough one. All right, now I have something way back. I never thought I would own one of these, but it was sent to me. And Michael, Near Wild Heaven, my friend Michael in Cleveland, he sent me this because I've kind of just said, I never have a Country Joe and the Fish. That's just kind of a hippie, trippy, I don't get it kind of music, before my time. And I'm 63, and I'm saying, it's before my time. And I'm saying, I'm an old dude, so wow. So Michael sent this to me. It's off Vanguard, Country Joe and the Fish. Electric music for mind, body, and soul. And Michael felt that I need to have it. He sent me a very nice note here, and Michael, your penmanship is outstanding. I have to type my stuff when I send it out now because it is not outstanding. This was good. Country Joe and the Fish. Whoa! All right, so here's what I know: Country Joe and the Fish. I know one song. And I feel like, what's it called? I feel like I'm fixing to die. 1, 2, 3, 4. Who you fighting for? I don't give a damn. Don't want to go to Vietnam. Something like that. And, I grew up in Nebraska where it's a very Republican state. Go Vietnam. Let's kill the commies. This was never part of my scene. And so, Woodstock, the movie, there's some parts I like. Sly and the Family Stone's great, Hendrix, but, it's just not my scene. This was great. I just, wow. And, the critics, I guess, will say it's their best album, but I just totally liked this. It is an album, it was like this psychedelic swirl of distorted guitar and organ happening in here. I mean, it was wow. Now, a lot of you have this album. You know this album. You go, hey, it's really great. Why doesn't he like that band? This, I was surprised. I really liked it. Death Sound Blues, was the song on here. Yeah, Death Sound Blues, just fantastic sounding song. Happiness is a Porpoise Mouth. Now, I still can't figure out why they had to be tripping when they came up with that name. Happiness is a porpoise mouth. What does that even mean? I didn't like that one as much. It was kind of a little mellow, kind of weird. When section 43 started off a little slow, I'm going, but then it picked up. It's the first time really I've heard psychedelic harmonica. Is that a thing? Psychedelic harmonica? I don't know, but it was there. This album was great, and Michael, I really appreciate it. Michael sent me 4 CDs, and they're in my truck still, Michael, so I don't have them here to show, and I got to bring them in because those CDs were outstanding. And it fit in my wheelhouse, and Michael knows that. Michael really understands my wheelhouse, so thank you, Michael. Near Wild Heaven is his channel. He just shows such a great mix of stuff. His knowledge, and of the Cleveland rock scene, man, that guy knows his stuff. And a lot of great, when you talk about punk music, Cleveland, big, because they're tight. Hey, he didn't puke on you, be happy. All right. So, okay. He couldn't stay away, I guess. Are you going to settle in, man? All right. Yeah, don't go sniffing me there, pukey breath. Okay, let's go into some jazz. We haven't done jazz for a little while. This came from Vinyl Me Please, God knows when, how long ago, because I'm backed up. I kind of looked the records to show looks like a Los Angeles freeway there. I just backed up to holy hell. But this is Ornette Coleman, and we're going to try to show here. And he was born in Fort Worth, Texas. Born in 1930, same year as my mom, but passed in 2015, unlike my mom, who's still kicking around. He started playing in rhythm and blues bands in Texas, but he had a problem because he had his own kind of saxophone style he wanted to do, and people just weren't getting it in the rhythm and blues. And so he's like, well, we don't know, Ornette. You might not be just the kind of sax guy we want. So he's kind of, no, you're not it. He wound up moving to California to see what the scene was like and hopefully get a job. And he was able to get a job as an elevator operator. But as he was doing the elevator operator, he began to read books on music. He began to understand music, studying it, getting an idea, and started to take what he wanted to do and form it into something else. During this time in the 50s now, he met Don Cherry. And through Don Cherry, began to meet other people. And by 1958, he finally began to record. This album, The Shape of Jazz to Come, came out in 1959. It is very much what the title says, The Shape of Jazz to Come, because you had 1959, you had Dave Brubeck. You had Miles Davis, Kind of Blue, Dave Brubeck, Take 5. And then you had something like this come in. And this was totally in a different world, different galaxy. We're talking galaxy far, far away. It was the beginning of spiritual jazz. What he put down on here, the squonking saxophone began to happen. There were no boundaries. He wasn't letting there be boundaries within jazz with time signatures or whatever. He began doing kind of his own thing. Very advanced music was coming out. This is not melodic. This is not something that you put on if you want to go to bed, you want to relax. Probably not going to be it. Am I a spiritual jazz person? I am not. Spiritual jazz is better than free jazz, not by a lot, but this is an important album, and I saw it on Vinyl Me Please. I used to have it on CD, and I know the importance of it, historically speaking, and so I thought, I need to have this, I need to listen to it, I need to try to digest it, which I need to digest more, so I am happy to have this, though it does not make me snap my fingers or hum. If you can't hum the song, then there's something wrong with that song. let's go into our next album. It's Calexico. Calexico group started in '96. They're still going on out of Tucson, Arizona. I think it's Tucson. Yeah. Okay, doesn't matter. Americana, alt country, Tejano music, Latin rock, indie rock, Tex-Mex, all of that is part of Calexico. They've done 12 albums. This is their second album, The Blacklight. This came out in 1998, and this is the reissue that had come out maybe recently. What? Why are we doing this? And so this is a concept album. You know, you think about it, second album, let's do a concept album. And the concept is about the Arizona desert and northern Mexico, kind of what they, you know, their thoughts and their feelings about it. It is, would you stop it? It is a, it has a very atmospheric, cinematic feel to it. Really interesting music. You know, sometimes we say interesting, that can mean, then you mean weird as hell. No, it's relaxing. It has, I mean, I love the cinema type kind of a feel to it with the twangy guitars and that. There's Latin jazz rhythms happening. There's mariachi trumpets. In fact, I think the sample I'm going to play, would you stop that? There's mariachi trumpets. There's pedal steel guitar happening. Accordion is going on in here. They really bring out their Tex-Mex type groups, their Tejano stuff, but they put it out in a beautiful way. Calexico is a wonderful group. I wish I had more of their stuff. I used to in CD, and I just haven't brought in a bunch back, you know, since the flood in vinyl, which I slowly will. It's just, you know, there's only so much money in the world, but I mean, I've spent too much of it already. So, but this, if you ever want to try a great group, Calexico, wonderful stuff. Happy to have that album. I really love that album.
Just a mistake when his finger pulled the trigger.
Another Vinyl Me Please came in. Actually, I sent one of these to Mark, Mad for Vinyl. And this is the Nat Turner Rebellion. And they came out of Philadelphia. They never had an album, but they did some 45s. And so this is a collection of 45s. It is funk. So fun. What did they call it? They called it revolutionary soul music, I believe. It was part of the revolutionary soul music movement that was happening. And I believe in the early 70s, when you think about Start the Rebel, you know, the revolution. What's that? Oh, well, now, believe me, my mind's totally gone. There was they recorded in the Sigma Sound Studios. Well, Sigma Sound Studios went under. Someone else had bought them, and they're looking through their stuff recently, and they found like 7,000 cassette tapes. 7,000, and there was a bunch from this Nat Turner Rebellion. Now, they had done a couple 45s, but that was it. But they found the rest of this music, so I thought, let's make an album about it. This definitely is very, very political, as you could see just by that picture. And it is really good. There's some great funk happening within here. Kind of a cross between Sly Stone and Blood, Sweat, and Tears. You know, it just, they broke up early due to they couldn't get along. Okay, it kind of fell apart. You know, they put out a few different singles, but then just kind of blew apart. the Nat Turner Rebellion, for those history fans, or if you're not from the U.S., there in 1831 in Virginia, there was a slave rebellion led by Nat Turner. And so obviously it did not work. Nat Turner was hung and they skinned him. They probably skinned him alive. It's gross. But so that's what they named it after. Again, kind of just tells you what you're going to get out of this thing. But there's a lot of funky beats and a great bass happening in here. No doubt this has been sampled. Really great harmonies happening. Super good. Final one, didn't even bother taking it out of the bag. Oh well, is Jimi Hendrix War Heroes. Just real quick, this was the third posthumous comp that was done after Hendrix died. They were just finding Hendrix had more unrecorded material than anybody else. They say he has such a vast catalog of stuff he never put out, and this one came out in 1972. So they were just finding this stuff and releasing the stuff. And this one's pretty good. It's just, it's full of obscurities that he had not put out. Now, this has been released. If you have First Rays of the New Rising Sun, you would have this music, or South Saturn Delta. But this is the first time it was put out, and there you can see some of the tracks on there. Again, I was late getting into Hendrix. I used to have this beautiful Hendrix box set I had out of Germany, and it had all these types of albums in there. Obviously, don't have it now, but when I see them, I'll pick them up because I do like Jimi Hendrix. So there we have it. That's it. I'm glad everyone could be here today. I'd be a part of Cat throwing up in my office. So boy, just another typical day for me. So. Well, hope you come back midweek. I think I'm going to do a bunch of records that I need to put away. Stuff I used to have that's now back in my collection. So all some great classic rock. Thanks for being dropping by. See you later. Cheers.